this video, we're going to talk about abuse. Some of us are in abusive relationships and we don't even really know it. And I want to say this: abuse in any form, be it physical, be it emotional, or be it mental, is not acceptable. But a lot of times we are in relationships with manipulators, control freaks, narcissists, and we make excuses for their behavior. And so a lot of times we don't know that we're in an abusive relationship until somebody actually points it out. And so that's what I want to do with this particular video. But I want to talk about the effects of abuse. A lot of times I've coached clients who've been in abusive relationships and they've lost a piece of themselves. If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist or a manipulator, it can be destructive to you emotionally. Sometimes it will make you believe things that are not even there. They will make you believe things, what we call gaslighting. They will make you believe things that are outlandish. They will make you question your own reality. And you will do things, you will find yourself doing things that are not necessarily a part of your character. But because you've gotten in this cycle of abuse, you're always wanting your abuser to be approved, to seek approval from your abuser. And we're going to tell you, I want to talk to you about the 11 things to look for, that signs you are in an abusive relationship. Number 1, disrespect through insults and name calling. If you're in a relationship with somebody who constantly calls you names, constantly refers to you in a derogatory way when you get angry or when they get angry with you, but then they may come back and say, I was just playing. I was just joking with you, right? Or if you say that you did not like what they said, I didn't really mean it. But that's a form of abuse, and that's a form of being in an abusive relationship. I want you to think about it. Even if the name calling is not, it may not be overt like bitch or all of something. It may not be that, but it might be name calling. And what you do is, because it's not so harsh, you minimize it. But it is a form of abuse. Okay. Number 2, public humiliation. Now, let me say this. Sometimes we do things because we make a bad decision in the moment, and maybe it's a one-time thing where, you spoke loudly with friends or family around. I can remember one time my wife and I were in Costco's, right? Costco's, the big store, the box store that has all the stuff. And I was telling my wife, we were talking about fruit. And I was like, I don't know why you're going to get watermelons, because they just going to go bad. Now I said it, I thought it was just her, but a guy was walking by, right? And she got super upset about it. And as we began to talk through it, she almost tried to walk away and run over me with the cart. But aside from that, she said, "Why did you publicly humiliate me?" And I was like, I didn't know that I publicly humiliated. I didn't know it. I didn't say it because the guy was going by. But the first thing I did was apologize. And I said, I will never do it again. And I've never done that again because I'm conscious of it. But that's the difference between someone who is abusing you. They will publicly humiliate you. They will not take accountability or responsibility for their actions. Number 3, and this is a critical one, because it's insidious. It's a thing called they neg you. It's called negging. And what N-E-G-G-I-N-G. Now, what is negging? Negging is when they take something about you and they put it down. For instance, they might say, your little promotion on the job, it means nothing. You're not supervising but one other person. Or they say, I don't know why you wear your hair like that. It doesn't look good. And what they do is they keep poking at you. Just little things. poke at you. They don't necessarily encourage you. And then when you call them out on it and you say, hey, I don't like the way you do. I was just kidding. Why are you so sensitive? All right. And so what they're doing is that little bit of poking, every time I do that, you will find yourself, it's a form of abuse. And let me tell you why. Because you will find yourself always wanting to please the person. Does my hair look okay with you now? Is my hair suitable for you now? Or maybe I shouldn't take this new job because if I take this new job, is it good enough? Is this the kind of job I should take? Are they paying me enough? And you find yourself looking to this person, seeking their validation on the things that you do. That is a form of abuse. Number 4, verbal abuse, when a person is yelling and threatening. If you, and many of you are in relationships where you yell and threaten back, that's abusive, y'all. If you're in a relationship where when you guys get mad, it's always, hey, I'm yelling, you're yelling. And what we're doing is we can see who can yell the loudest, who can get their point across. And during the yelling, during the threatening, we begin to we stick jabs at each other. We try to hurt each other. We hurt each other because we feel like at the end of the day, I've got to win. It's not that I want to resolve the conflict. I just want to beat you. Have you ever been in a relationship where, you know what, you just want to win? And think about it, and this is how you know I'm telling the truth. Because you don't even know, if you look back a day or two later, a week later, you don't even know what the argument was about. You just know, I just had to win. That is abuse. Number 5, okay, accusations of jealousy. And they accuse you. And this is called projection too. They're accusing you all the time. Well, why are you talking to them on the phone? Well, why you look at them like that? It's always accusatory when it have jealousy. All right. And what that is abusive as well. Because let me tell you why. Because what they're doing is they're projecting onto you their beliefs. All right. They're jealous, but they're jealous or they're insecure about the relationship, or they could be cheating. They could be cheating. Many times what I found, the person who accuses you constantly of something, of a particular thing, many times they are projecting onto you the things that they are doing or the things that they have fear of. It's kind of like, I've seen this many times. It's kind of like the people who are homophobic. They talk about homosexuals all the time, and you find out later on that they are doing the very behavior that they are condemning. And so what happens is they are projecting onto other people. That is a form of abuse. Form of abuse. All right. 6, gaslighting. That's a term that we use. Gaslighting is when a person attempts to make you believe something, make you question your own reality. Let me give you an example. You see a text come through, and say you see the text come through, and it's from another woman. You're with your guy, and you saw it from another woman, and here's what he says. He says, why are you so insecure? That wasn't from another woman, but you saw it. You saw it. And what will happen is he'll say it so long, you begin saying, maybe I didn't see it. Maybe I didn't. And then he'll say something like that. See, you are always insecure. Why you always saying, why do you do stuff like that? And then you begin thinking, wow, maybe I am insecure. Maybe he's right. And so when you gaslight a person, what you're doing is you're taking the focus off of the thing and putting it on another thing and making the person believe it's something else. All right. And so in gaslighting, I began questioning what I saw. I began questioning what I'm thinking. I began questioning my emotions. I began questioning everything about even the relationship itself. But gaslighting is a classic form of manipulation from narcissists, control freaks. So I just want you to be aware of it. Number 7, another way you're in an abusive relationship, when the other person blames you for everything. They blame you for everything. They put the toilet up, and they blame you for them putting the toilet up. You're like, well, I wouldn't have had to put the toilet up if you'd have got out of the way in time. What? I wouldn't have had to put the toilet up if you'd have bought a different kind of toilet. And the toilet went up by itself and went down by itself. They blame you for their shortcomings. Okay. I wouldn't have to cook for. They burn the cooking. They burn the meal. But they say they blame you for burning the meal. Well, I wouldn't have to cook if you'd have got here and cooked on time. Or if you'd have got here earlier, if you'd have left earlier and you'd have had the food ready, then we wouldn't have had burnt food. And whenever you're in a relationship like that, when the other person blames you always, they never take accountability. They never are responsible for anything. That is true. That is true, unadulterated abuse. All right. I've seen this one. And how many of you in a relationship right now where the person you're with never wants to take responsibility? Ever. If you're in a relationship and the person never wants to take responsibility, abuse is inevitable. All right. Number 8, another form of abuse is when someone isolates you from your friends and family. You're in an abusive relationship when somebody wants to control your time. Well, they say things like this. Hey, you know what? You don't have to go to your family for Christmas. Let it just be us. What about us? You want to be with them? I want to be with you. And then why do you have to spend time with your friends? You got me. But I spent time with my friends before you came along. And the truth is, they will make you feel like you spending time with your friends and your family is unhealthy. But it is healthy to have relationships outside of your partner, outside of your romantic relationships. And whenever they make you feel that way, they try to isolate you. And this is the worst. This is the worst. They call and you don't answer that. It's your mom or someone in your family. Well, don't answer that. That's our time, me time. It's my time. The truth is, they don't own your time. And whenever you're in a relationship with a person who acts like that, that is a form of abuse. 9, not respecting your emotions, trivializing your emotions and your opinions and your needs. Here's how that looks, y'all. You tell a person, I need to blank. I need to spend time to get my nails done. All right. Well, why do you need to get your nails done? You got them made. Why do you need to get your hair done? Okay. They trivialize your needs and or your emotions. Why do you always get emotional about this or emotional about that? And whenever you see that kind of person, that is a form of abuse. When they trivialize your emotions, when they trivialize your needs and your experiences. So a good one is when they trivialize your experience. You talk about what you've been through, right? And you may talk about, you may have had some molestation in your life. You may have rape. You may have had someone to rape you, and they trivialize it. Well, you know what? You should be over that by now. Whenever a person does those kinds of things, that leads to a form of abuse. Okay? The next thing is, number 10, is projecting their shortcomings onto the relationship. When a person says, well, I can't go back to school because I got to take care of you. Well, I can't go back to school because you are high maintenance. Well, what they're doing is whenever somebody projects their shortcomings onto you, form of abuse. Number 12, last but not least, I call it the two-step trauma abuse. So this is what a trauma bond is. And so a lot of people don't know. They use trauma bond incorrectly. But a trauma bond kind of works like this, is a person praises you, okay? And then one minute they may praise you. And then in the next instant, they put you down. They put you down. They put you down. And then they may praise you again. And then what happens is then they put you down. And so what happens is I call it a two-step process, because the person being controlled or the person being abused, always whenever they go from the praise, they love that because they realize in the next breath, the other person is going to put them down. The other person is going to talk about what they're not doing. And then they spend their life trying to please the person. That's where the trauma bond comes in. Because of this trauma of control, you find yourself attempting to please the abuser. You're trying to make the abuser validate you. You're trying to make the abuser affirm you. Whenever you're in a relationship and the person is doing this two-step process, on one instant, they praise you. Oh, you're great. You look beautiful. On the next instant or the next day, you look terrible. Why would you wear your hair like that? You look like a piece of crap. Why would you wear that dress? Why would you? Nobody I'm with you wear. That is abuse, y'all. Abuse. I've given you these 11 steps simply because I wanted to make you aware. If you're in a relationship and you're experiencing 4 or more of these, I would say 3 or more of these, then you're probably in an abusive relationship. And you should probably think about reevaluating where the relationship is and where you are in relation to it. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. I hope this has helped someone. Hey, y'all, I got a whole bunch of content just like this. This is what I want you to do. Click this video or click this video. Either way, it is there to empower you, y'all. All right?